Yeah, the weird ass bitch over here that tried to get in between me and my wife over here. What's up? That man, I'm not children. Yeah, tried to go off and tell me these are the type of men that she like, on especially all sorts of dumb ass shit. I'm like, yo, bitch, you don't represent the pussy over here hoes, on especially or the females on especially. Not do I have a dick over here that represents me as a man on especially. Yeah, well, I don't know, man. Somewhere they give me a weird group, more like losers that go off like desperately try to appear as if like they're like the best good men on earth. I'm like, oh my god. Nah, I want the other route over here. So I tried to tell the whole over there, don't get punched in your face. Yeah, cause all things specifically over ideology. That's some dumbass conservative nigga over here. Try to go off and spread, to go off and peacock in front of hoes that in front of the lefty niggas over here. I said that chasing after the sound around the space. Yeah, because somehow the nigga missed the entire music industry and the modern industry on the special side. So he didn't know that they had spoiled children that go off and do everything as much as possible to go off and obtain a concert ticket. Yeah, from like some of their favorite singers or artists on the special. And how kids will go off and behave when like there's like a toy in front of them and go off and get mad about other children going off to like aim for the same toy. And the thing they're doing to go off and get into a fight to make sure that all of them could go off, and one of them could go off and like grab that toy and then run away on the special. So some of the nigga over here, they know that the teenage and the child mindset will follow an adult because especially as an instincts. Yeah, so the whole corner was like a whole bunch of Asian niggas over here. They're like mad dumb within a Muslim space over here. Or they are like so much pedophilia on the fucking space. Like they own kings over here have to go off and fucking hide it on the space. Yeah, because of the fact that some of the niggas themselves will go off and like have like child slaves and like a whole bunch of like children serfs on the fucking spaces. So the whole try to go off and play all side and protect niggas on the space and then pick favorites on the space because that's the type of them. That's what the niggas tell you to watch out for. Of course, especially when they put out the information that if you're not born with a face or like being handsome on the special, yeah, the eugenics on the special, the bitch will go off and kill you, like someone executed you for being born ugly, a different way around the special. So that's why we had so many adult topics over the cyber space and that's way to like being somewhat equals on certain spaces in there, but pushing into different limits that go off and somewhat separate you as a human being into your potential for what you can or can't do specifically. And then somewhere you let the money talk specifically on how far you could go off and push as a civilization or human being itself, and then you let history talk for you around the special instead of letting that whole with that lame ass nigga go off and like somewhat play favorites and like pick niggas around the special and tell you that you're dead over them because of the fact that you have this nose like this over here. You're dead over here because of the fact that you talk like this. You're dead over here because of the fact that you write a certain way. Especially you're dead over here because of the fact that you're not making my heart bleed enough by going off to create sub story of like work hard, like you walk through like a fucking you are too mud to go off and like fucking try to wipe the floor in my kitchen over here. So in terms of like all sadism over here, as the BDSM master over here that go off and whip my slave over. So I got my slave over here that showcased to me that my slave is willing to walk to the mother room while being all naked and dropping babies all up in the mother room. What's up? Just so they could desperately go off and kiss my feet and worship me as like a deity over here to go off and like wipe my kitchen floor for me. It showcased to me how much of a hard worker they are to go off and work for me for like $3 or like 5 cents per hour. Yeah, that's I know I fall over here with like Mr. Stupid. And then I said by the end of the day, you see what I get stuck with as shit. I just go off and like follow me around and then someone sabotage my company and be all over the place over stuff that they discover privately of like my private diary and my internet history. Because they bug old grandma over there that's like mad dumb and they're all over the place, and then eventually you tell them like, yo, listen, you have a system over here. If that system does not allow you to go off and like do what you did legally without a special answer, and yeah, so what you're doing over here does not supersede the system. What you're doing over here is just like mob justice. Yeah. As far as I don't use mob justice against me over here, I use the system against you. One of us is going to race into a paradise because of the fact that I'm using the system. I'm using the system. Normally on the special, and like I'm using the system correctly. What's up? While you're over there, you're just using mob justice over them. You're using ghetto-ness. You're eyeballing shit on the special, and then you're forcing it by going off to try to go off and like use chemicals to then go off and see if the chemicals could go off and remove the problem for you. Yeah, and unfortunately that failed for you because of the fact that I found a way around it that you call America. yeah, other people don't want the kids to be poisoned on the fucking space. Yeah. So only your cult that you have as an army that's connected with the group of like corrupted police officers out, they'll go off and follow that. But the others, the minute that they get to go off and call the fire marshal, yeah, and then make sure you have the army over there that have their own special equipment. They'll go off and be a feedback. That's way to like the type of technology that they use to go off and scan the air. If there's like a potential there's a protection biohazard over here, a chemical warfare happening around the special. So because of the fact they have a well-trained chemical warfare division over here, that's inside the civilian sector. That's what your plan over here get to fail so miserably into more offense specific what's happening. So yeah, believe it or not, I didn't want to be back inside the United States. I didn't have to be back around the U.S. I like to travel and like be out there, and I like my peace area to go off and be in the jungles, like in the forest, enjoying the trees, wearing my coats, and go off to polish my work around the space. Yeah, yeah, and then somewhere that shit over here. Assume that if I'll be back in the U.S. over here, then I was like, yo, it's been like 3 months. What is your fucking point into more things for someone? By the time I get my footing back, because of the fact that the Australian force are somewhat threw me off budget, and like they give me short notice around the space. So it takes me just 6 months to bounce back on the space, and then right back around my traveling back to like New Zealand or around other spaces around the spaces. What is your fucking point? Yeah, so the only thing that I picked up from that specifically is that I see no, because again the Americans go off and put money on like instructions on the special. So the main thing that tells me specifically is that when I travel outside the US, that I should know the security force that they have on someone, and then make sure be sure that I'm not inside the lower sectors where like poverty is like a motherfucker, and make sure the police force over there is like corrupted. So now I don't have no entry to Colombia at all because of how easy it is to go off and manipulate that system over here based off like the cyber system, and then go off and have that patch go off and be applied. Yeah, because you know in spaces like these states, so definitely the entire hotel will go off and be smoked up with like chemicals around, especially because the police and the others were corrupted on that level over here. So now I'm stuck only traveling around certain nations and certain spaces and where the security state over here is attached behind the technology and the well-funded budget behind chemical warfare on the space. So now whatever travel that I was doing on the space has been run by a group over here that's like so lame and boring that they just can't understand beat it. That's all right. You're not of substance or of sauce over here, my son. Even the dude over here with no hoe, my son. The nigga over here with no girl, my son. Yeah, that go off and be the most boring and slowest person on earth over here as a total that's taking 5 years to travel from one space to the next and does nothing but sleep around the fucking space here. Still managed to go off and be popular and infamous around the fucking space by just talking to himself on his phone over here, my son. And then someone you fucking telling me that I don't know. I said, how the fuck do you lose to me into my popularity? Well, I didn't ask nobody to invade my fucking privacy. And then somehow I get is that what you're jealous of over here, my son? The shit that I don't fucking want, but the shit that I fucking want over here. Yeah, so somehow I have to fucking lead you to it. I'm like, what the? Kill yourself in that fucking class, fucking piece of shit.